Go back! I went to assist Monkey. I didn't love the idea of Pig going off on her own. You know what? I can handle this. Really? You sure you don't want me? You sure you don't want to just let me handle it? Yeah, it's fine. I can just do it. You stay here in the meantime. Before she could get in a word edgewise, I left. Stopped by a nearby classroom to press the run button on my tablet. Remember, we're just checking out this path to see if this leads to a different route. And I made my way to the cafeteria. Hi, Monkey. I went over to where Monkey was tied up. Hey there, Monkey. Ah, Mouse. Are you here to allow me to input an action on my tablet? Of course. Something I planned to do this whole time. Naturally. Not for a second sitting here did I think that people might have just forgotten about me and let me die to execution. Right. Indeed. Okay, so here you go. I undid Rooster's surprisingly good tying job to let Monkey free. Go input your action in the restroom nearby. I shall do just that. And like that, Monkey left just to take care of business. I stood by, waiting for her return. So is everything fine? Indeed. Thank you, Mouse. Ready to hear. Now please, tie me down once more. I still think this is stupid. As do I, but I'd rather not stir the pot at this point. Alright. And at Monkey's behest, I tied her down to the chair again. Is that a bit of her true feeling there? It still feels so horrible that this is the last time we'll get to talk to each other. It is truly tragic, is it not? But it must be so. I just can't accept that. Maybe we could try and get the collar off. Maybe we could barter with Brian. There's gotta be something we can do to save you. Sheep token, sheep token, sheep token. You're so determined, Mouse. Funny, someone brought up in the comments of the end of Pig's route that it was kinda senseless that we got Sheep's major trinket and never attempted to use it to save Monkey. Maybe this will be the route that we do that? That would... Like, the two sides of that coin for me are, one, I'd like to see that, but two, pretty much, when we find Sheep's major trinket, and then we go into the round end and find out about the aberrant personalities, I feel like that kind of takes over, and the trinket we found is kind of pushed to the background, to the back of our minds, and forgotten about, which is understandable in the heat of the moment, I think. So, maybe this will be the impetus that we need to remember that we have it. If it is, I'll be impressed. It's your Hamartia. That Hamartia? It's Greek for fatal flaw. In Greek tragedies, as in life, everybody has one. You have a stubborn determination. It will get you far, but when you get like that, you lose sight of the bigger picture and refuse to back down when you really should. I don't think that's true. It is. We all have Hamartia, Mouse. It's important to learn what yours is, and to be aware of it. Well then, if everybody has Hamartia, what's yours? Mine? Suppose it would be curiosity. Curiosity? That's not a fatal flaw. How about Mouse, curiosity killed the cat? Don't get me wrong, curiosity has taken me far in life. In fact, I became a therapist because I was curious about the human condition. It's also gotten me in trouble before. When I was much younger, I made many mistakes out of curiosity. Some I dare not repeat. Like what? I dare not repeat them. Neither in my actions or aloud. Oh, come on, you can't just say that and then expect me not to want to know what you're talking about. Another time, perhaps. Wait, you know there won't be another time. Exactly. And I guess I'll take the stories to my grave. Yeah, exactly. Perhaps then you'll know the curse of curiosity. Ugh, how rude. Anyway, I'm gonna get back to searching for trinkets. You do that. Oh, and Mouse. Yes? You know you can trust me, right? Hmm. How to respond? Well. I can trust Monkey. Of course. More than anyone here, I know I can actually rely on you. I'm just playing this one. We'll see what happens. That's good to hear. Remember that. I am frightful of the unrevealed traitor. Things go south, know that I am on your side. At least we know from past experience that we can, for the most part, trust Monkey in this particular situation. Of course, I know you're with us. Listen carefully, Mouse. I am on your side. Right. That was oddly specific. Interesting. I wasn't entirely sure how to take Monkey's last comment. Regardless, I was done here. I made my way back to the room Pig was at. Ah, Mouse, how did things go with Monkey? It was, good. Helped her not get executed, which is a good thing. Cool, cool. So, where should we look next? How about we look around the first floor some? If you want to, sure. Great. What if she had the same conversation with Pig? Just like that, we were decided. We made our way down to the first floor and began to search through some of the classrooms in that hallway. Searched for a while before moving on to another nearby classroom. Let's see if we're still on... No, it is different. It was a silent but well-paced search. Before I knew it, I was midway through the 5th round. Might as well help Monkey out again. Already? There's still quite a bit of time. Yeah, but why delay it to the last second, you know? Alright, sure. And so once more, I left Pig to her own devices. I pressed the run button on my tablet in a nearby classroom, then made my way to the cafeteria. I greeted Monkey once more, untied her, and let her go to the nearby restroom. Then when she returned, I tied her up once more. It was a lot more silent this time. Then I went back to the room with Pig. Monkey's good. She's good. Thank God for that, you know? She's giving up her life for us. The least we can do is treat her right. That's really considerate, Mouse. Well, you know, I don't think it's anything special. I just don't want to view anyone differently because of this stupid game. Even the unrevealed traitor. I don't think they're evil or anything. Yeah, that... Correct. I don't think we can really say that Pig was truly evil. Now that I've had time to stew on her endings, I still think she deserved a bit of mercy in the end. At the very least. At the very least, she deserved to have everything she deserved a bit of... I should just not go into this, because... I'm gonna say, you've made some great points in the end of the last video, but especially shouldn't be criticizing her actions when compared to some other people on this... some other people's routes, course. I'm gonna say, because Horse has some gentle moments, but overwhelmingly, Horse is the embodiment of violence, as we've seen on several routes. So Dragon did start a gang war, and she's still one of my favorite characters, so I should watch what I'm criticizing. I should watch who I'm criticizing for their actions, because Dragon did some really violent shit. And tried to kill us multiple times. And Ox tried to drink someone's blood to not die. So essentially, what we're learning is that this is your fave is problematic, the game. And Pig's actions weren't any worse than what we've seen up to this point. Desperation does damning things to people, is the message we should take away from this. I don't think they're plotting our downfall. I think they're scared. Yeah. They were put in an impossible situation and they don't know what to do. I pity them. What an empathetic position. Yeah, well, maybe it's a dumb take. But that's just how I feel. There's something I want to tell you. Something I know. Something you know? I didn't expect this development at all, but I was more than ready to welcome it. Pig hesitated for a moment, not sure if she should speak. She gripped her tablet tightly to her chest, holding on to it like a life preserver. Then she opened her mouth to speak the truth that she felt she needed. What? Excuse me? What? I couldn't register what had happened even after Pig's body hit the floor. Something had just flown in through the door. Through Pig's chest. Through her tablet. Through a nearby desk. Excuse me? No, not something. A bullet. Pig had been shot. Pig! Once I had regained my senses, I rushed over to Pig's side to try and help. My first instinct was to stop the bleeding, but I had no idea how exactly I could do that. You're gonna be okay, you're... I trailed off, not knowing what to say, not knowing what to do. My brain had completely shut down on me. Someone lay before me, dying, and I had no idea how to save them. I had no ability to save them. I just flailed around helplessly. As she lay dying, Pig locked eyes with me. She looked oddly content? At peace? Still, she opened her mouth and tried to get something across to me. She struggled to speak, but she wasn't able to get out the words. After much struggle, she closed her eyes. She was dead. It was a cold, empty feeling that inhabited the pit of my stomach. Someone had died. In front of me. I didn't know how to cope. I was in denial. Then in an instant, I moved on to anger. Who had just done this? Who had killed Pig? Burst out the door, looking down the hallway both ways. I hoped to catch the culprit in their flight from the scene, but alas, it was too late. Damn it. What was I doing, trying to save an already dead Pig? I bet what she was trying to say was, forget about me, go catch the killer, dumbass. Damn it. I failed you, Pig. It wasn't too late. One of the traitors was tied up. The rest were in pairs. Surely this was done by a traitor. There'd be no other reason to kill. Oh, this is going to be interesting. Which meant that the murderer must have split away from their pair. Nobody did that. It must have been Dog, the only person by himself. Couldn't waste any time. It was imperative that I narrowed down everyone's movements as soon as possible. Right away, I ran into the cafeteria. Mouse, what's wrong? Monkey was still tied up in her chair. Thank God for that. I really didn't want to have to suspect her. Pig, she's been shot. Seriously? That's... Mouse, are you sure you're alright? No, but we don't have time for that. Monkey, did you see anyone heading through here recently? I'm sorry, but I can't say that I have. My eyes have been closed ever since I got tied up in this sprite. If she's been shot, shouldn't you gather everybody as soon as possible? That's exactly what I'm planning on doing. Very wise, Mouse. Just like you. If you're looking to find everybody, why don't you start with Tiger and Bunny? I believe they're in a classroom right at the top of the stairs to the right. Alright, I'll do just that. Thanks for the advice, Monkey. Don't mention it. I'm only here to help. And so I raced over to the staircase that Monkey mentioned. A mix of emotions in my chest were complicated and powerful. They pushed me forwards with a very determined energy. Climbing the stairs, I didn't even hear my feet touch the steps. One moment I was on the first floor, the next I was on the second. There, just like Monkey had said, Tiger and Bunny were in a nearby classroom. Tiger! Bunny! I wanted to start with the bad news, but something stopped me. What if one of them was the murderer? That fear tugged at my heart. It was a new feeling. A bad feeling. What is it? Did either of you just leave the other one's sight? No. That's the point of pairing up, right? Yeah, we've been searching everywhere with each other, Mouse. Under my breath, there was a sigh of relief. Why? Did something happen? Pig's been shot. She's dead. Looks of surprise and concern that crossed their faces were genuine. Neither of them was the culprit. That's horrible. Do you know who did it? No, they shot through a door and ran. Damn it. Who would do something that terrible? To just shoot somebody and flee. That's just cowardice. Yeah, it fucking sucks, Tiger. I knew I'm trying to get the group all in one place as soon as possible. A sensible approach. Sarah said we should head down to the cafeteria. Yeah, as soon as possible. Gotcha. Alright, you go ahead and do that, Tiger. You're not coming? I'm just gonna sweep the classes in the hallway first, to see if anyone's around, so I can tell them what happened. The statement gave me pause. It was reasonable enough. But he had an alibi when Pig was shot. So it should have been fine, right? But suggesting it like that felt manipulative. That's a good idea, Bunny. Mind if I tag along? If you want to. Sure thing. Okay, well, I'll just go wait in the cafeteria then. You guys be sure to look around quick, alright? Will do. And so now that I was partnered with Bunny, well, Tiger was the one going off on her own. If Bunny gets shot while in our company, I'm gonna be shook. Bunny and I didn't make much conversation. After all, we were keeping a quick pace. A sense of urgency still flowed through my veins. We checked room after room, looking through them all to try and find other people. It seemed like the second floor was something of a wasteland. When we had made it to the other side of the building, we decided to take the staircase back down to the first floor and look around there. There on the first floor, we saw Horse standing into the hallway, looking into the library, looking distressed. Hey, Horse, there's something you have to hear. Actually, first, where's Sheep? So we approached him and began to get a view inside the library. I got an answer to that question in the worst way. In the library, limp against a bookshelf, Sheep lay motionless. But not only Sheep. Not only was Sheep dead, but so was Tiger! To my utter shock and disbelief, Tiger lay in the middle of the library floor, blood leaking from her neck. What the hell? This is... Immediately, I felt my stomach drop. It wasn't sadness or horror. It was disgust that filled me. Weakly wandered away from the scene, only to begin retching onto the hallway. I just couldn't hold it in. The scene was so viscerally vile. Sheep and Tiger. Dead. Dead like that. Dead permanently. Sheep was so sweet. Tiger was so cheerful. Sheep's death was bad. What was worse was the fact that I had let Tiger go down here by myself. Was it my fault? Afraid I could hear the conversation of Bunny and Horse in the background. I needed to pull myself together. He might be dead, but I wasn't. In an immediate 180, I turned around and marched up to Bunny and Horse. Horse, what happened here? Why are these two dead? I would tell you if I knew. It's so awful. Indeed. I hold more grief for this than you. Sure about that? No. Oh, well, that's honest, I guess. But seriously, what happened here? Well, I talked to Horace. Bunny had made his way inside the room and began to inspect the... I guess it would be a crime scene? I can simply tell you what I know. Sheep and I were looking around the school together. Then Sheep went to free Monkey from her restraints again. Oh, so Sheep also went to help Monkey like that? Makes sense that I wouldn't be the only person to recognize the situation. While I thought this to myself, Horse continued to speak. In her stead, I continued to search through an office. It's the one right over there, near this library. Horse pointed out to the door. Indeed, there was an office right by the library. I focus a lot when I'm looking for things, so I was a little out of it. In the back of my head, I thought I heard a commotion nearby. So I left the office and came to the source of the noise. This library. There I saw this sight before me. Before I could comprehend it, I felt a blow to the back of my head. The back of your head? The idea of someone striking the head of someone as tall as Horse frightens me. Believe me, it shocks me just as much as it shocks you. Anyways, the blow was strong, so it took me a couple of seconds to get to my feet. When I did, there was nobody to find, and I was still left with this scene. That's when you came by. I see. I see. Man, to kill pig, then sheep, and tiger in such a short time span? Who is this monster? At this, Bunny walked back over. So, I did a bit of investigating. Makes you feel any better, sheep died very quickly. It does not make you feel any better. Crushed windpipe. Dead. Just like that. I didn't find any signs that a tool was used, so I guess the windpipe was crushed by hand. A very impressive feat of strength. Tiger didn't seem to have it so easy. The lamp on this desk hit the side of her skull so hard that it bent. She also has a bruise around her left eye. Oddly enough, there's this weird skull luchador thing gripped in her right hand. Weird. What? Horse? Right? I don't know how that's relevant. As for the thing that killed her, well, her throat was stabbed multiple times with a pen. That's horrible. Yeah, and for Tiger, someone so rang for a fight to get killed like that? Pretty shocking stuff. Say, Horace, you said you came over to the library pretty soon after you heard the struggle. I did. And that blow that hit you came from behind? Indeed. Well, that's odd to me. The library only has this one door for an exit. It does have another smaller room inside it, but that place is a dead end. Horace? Horace, are you the other traitor? Are you accusing me? I'm just saying, the evidence doesn't look great for you right now. I did not kill either of them. Or said this so sternly, so matter of fact. I don't know why, but for some reason it felt so genuine, I couldn't help but believe him. I think you might be telling the truth there, Bunny? Seriously, Mouse? Thought you were smart. You're buying this? But this crime scene doesn't look great, but would Horse really kill sheep? Yeah. Okay, then what about Pig? What about Pig? Pig was shot through the stomach. It's not like the bullet was angled particularly down or anything, it just seemed to mostly be a straight shot. So unless Horse was on his knees when shooting Pig, I have a hard time seeing him as the culprit. Well, I guess that would make sense. Thank you, Mouse, for seeing reason. Anyways, you should probably go and gather the others and tell them all what's happened. I'll stay here with Horse. Maybe investigate a bit more. You do that. And once more I separated from the group to try and find all the others. 1 dead. Now 3. We were really dropping like flies. I couldn't afford to linger like that. We had spent too much time in that back and forth with Bunny. Time we couldn't afford. I rushed up to the 3rd floor to try and look for people to tell them about what had happened. Before long, I found Rooster and Ox in some history classroom. Ah, Mouse, glad to have you here. Please, come in and make yourself feel comfortable. What's wrong, Mouse? Why aren't you with Pig? So Rooster was acting dumb, and Ox caught on quick. Business as usual. I can't imagine that you let Rooster out of your sight, right, Ox? No, I can vouch for his location this whole time. Hey, right back at you, buddy. I've been watching you like a hawk. Alright then, here's what's been happening. In as few words as I could, I explained the situation to those two. That's awful. Tragic. Unspeakable. Well, I guess it's speakable. I didn't think something like this would actually happen. I guess Monkey was right to be concerned. This is Monkey's route, isn't it? No kidding. Anyways, I'm gathering everybody in the cafeteria to try and discuss things. Okay, we'll head down there now. Right after we finish this puzzle. Rooster, seriously, people are dead. I'm so close. Wait, what are we talking about? We found a safe, so we're trying to solve the puzzle to open it. More accurately, I'm trying to solve the puzzle to open it. He's been punching in random number combinations. Hey now, let's not be so dismissive. Everybody has their own puzzle-solving style. Just because you don't appreciate my style doesn't mean you have to be mean about it. Thanks for taking one for the team, Ox. Well, somebody had to. Anyways, Rooster's not wrong in that we're close. Even though we need to discuss what's happened, we also need to find minor trinkets. Once we finish up here, we'll head down to the cafeteria. How's that sound? To be honest, I wasn't in love with that idea. I was trying to gather everyone in one place so to keep people separated. Well, so long as they stay together, things should be fine. Alright, just make sure you don't take too long. Trust me, I don't want to spend any longer in a room alone with Rooster than I have to. I'm, like, right here, guys. I know. And with that, I left them to continue their puzzle solving. Have fun, boys. I jogged down to the hallway, popping into more classrooms, trying to find more people. Before too long, I ran into another unhappy pairing. Snake and Dragon. Snake and Dragon were thoroughly inspecting a classroom in silence before I barged in. Mouse, sup? So the murders have begun. The hell? Dude, the fuck you talking about? Mouse ran in here without her partner in a distressed state. The only thing I can imagine leading to such a situation would be if people have begun to die. That's freaky and also probably not right, but I don't have time to argue about that. What it's worth, you were correct in that people have begun to die. Seriously? You're not shitting me? Most unfortunate. Wait, what's been the point of having this prick following me around then? I thought that was to prevent killings. Yeah, that's what I thought too. Anyways, Pig was shot from behind from a door right in front of me. Then Tiger and Sheep were killed in the library, and Horse was assaulted. Whoa, what the hell's been going on? That's what I'm trying to figure out. For now, I'm gathering everybody in the cafeteria. Can you guys head over there? Sure thing. Without so much as another comment, Dragon walked out the door and began to make her way to a nearby staircase. Made to follow her, but before that, Snake grabbed my arm. I sighed. I couldn't imagine anything good coming of this. Yes, Snake? What's with that tone of voice already? You know, Mouse, I'm starting to suspect you don't like me. Snake, we're in a high tension situation right now, and I'm not really in the mood for your whole deal. If you got something to tell me, just say it. Okay, I was getting to that. Anyway, just to preface, this might not be that important. Already I view it as something of a stretch. Get to it. Right. So recently I've observed something unusual. Here's the thing. Before I could hear what the thing was, I heard the sound of shouting. This was the second time in but so many minutes someone was cut off before saying something. To make it worse, it was Rooster shouting. I was so tempted to just ignore him, but unfortunately it sounded pretty serious. Hey, anybody, somebody, come here, quick! Is there a doctor in the school? Please, it's a matter of life and death. We have a situation on our hands. Another time, then. And with that, Snake ran towards the sound of Rooster's voice. And I followed him. Of course I did. Rip Ox. When I got there, for the third time in but so much time, I was horrified. My momentum came to a sudden stop as the world seemed to spin around me. Because before my eyes, in the doorway to the classroom I had left him, Ox was lying there, bleeding out, dying. Like Pig, he was not dead, but dying. His body still spasmed and his eyes caught mine. They were filled with a mix of determination and fear. I couldn't keep his stare for long. My eyes dropped to the floor where flecks and dots of blood had spurted everywhere. Ox's neck had suffered a nasty cut. I suppose the blood had just spurted out everywhere. Like pushing down a gusher. Oh, Jesus. Ox, no. Breathing was becoming unsteady. Pig, sheep, tiger, ox. How were the best of us dying off, one by one? Was I next? Snake to my side was keeping a notably better composure. Rooster, what happened? How should I know? Look, I was at the closet solving the puzzle, Rooster style. So randomly inputting combinations. I resent that. Anyways, that's when I hear this really gnarly sound effect from behind me. Before I know what's happening, Ox is on the ground by that open door, dying. Immediately I think to check the nearby hallways because of course, duh, who wouldn't? But I don't see any signs of the attacker fleeing. So I call out for you all. Ox, I can't believe he died like this. Nor can I. Someone found a trinket that can kill people. Mouse, you mentioned that Pig was shot. Why then was Ox killed with a blade? Well, the death happened in this doorway, right? Maybe the killer didn't expect Ox to be that close when he entered, and the knife was better suited for a close-quarters kill. Perhaps. Well, Tiger and Sheep weren't killed with a gun, so I don't know how much we can really rely on that thought process. Maybe there are multiple killers. But Monkey already admitted to being a traitor and she's tied up. There should only be one traitor free. And there are now 0 traitors free. Oh, I didn't think of that. Why leave you alone, I wonder? It seems a tad odd. Killed because they couldn't handle my sick fighting moves, so they knew to bail. And good on them. Wait, Snake, are you suspecting Rooster? If the shoe fits, so to speak. Rooster, why aren't you getting upset about this? Honestly, it's just an honor to be nominated as the master culprit. I take it as a sign of respect. Why? With all the blood that shot out of Ox's neck, the killer should have clearly gotten a bunch of it on themselves. Yet the only blood on me is the bit on my hand when I tried to help stifle the wound. So Snake probably thinks I was able to run that nearby restroom, wash myself off, and get back here to call you over before Ox died of a slash to the throat. Right? Bugger. To be so thoroughly rebuked by Rooster of all people. I'm ashamed. This hurts. Look, we can all agree that Rooster sucks. No offense, Rooster. None taken. But that was well played. I don't think he's a killer. Besides, if he killed Ox, wouldn't the weapon still be here? See? Mouse gets it. Look, we really need to just gather as a group in the cafeteria and debrief. If it wouldn't be too much trouble, I'd like to stay here and investigate for a bit longer. If being by myself is a concern to you, Rooster could stay with me. Yeah, I can do that. I'd really appreciate it if you could just go to the cafeteria now. And I'd really appreciate it if I could simply examine the scene for a bit longer. I could have actually sworn that I actually heard a small crack in my brain at that point. Fine, okay, whatever. Don't blame me if you get murdered. I won't. I will, though. Thanks, Rooster. Thoroughly done with all of that, I made my way to the staircase. Things were happening too fast. It was all just too much. I needed to ground myself again. So I made my way back to the cafeteria, praying that everyone left would have conglomerated there, so we could have some sense of normalcy. However, as I passed by the library, once more I saw the scene that nearly stopped me in my tracks. I fell to the floor due to the shock. This couldn't be reality. This must have been a dream. That's the only thing that could have explained how quickly people were dying, how quickly the school was becoming a true hell. But I stood on my feet. Didn't even scream. Couldn't. Didn't want to risk alerting Dragon. Was crouched over a dead bunny. Oh, Jesus. At the side, Horse also lay motionless, a bullet right through his head. The silenced pistol dangling in Dragon's hand was disconcerting, to say the least. Oh. I didn't know what to do or say. I just stood motionless. Or it appears even without motion, Dragon noticed me. What? Instead of making some move, she continued to examine Bunny. And then she spoke. Do you know how the red dragons were formed? Huh? I didn't know how to respond to this sudden conversation change. Nah, of course you wouldn't. Some nice law student from a well-off family. You wouldn't know anything about it. The gang actually started out in juvenile centers. Prisons are shit. Only the strong survive. And so to survive, a bunch of criminals from the same area of Hightower banded together. They got out of prison, they stayed together, survived together. 'Cause that's what you gotta do. As far as I'm concerned, this man's more of a criminal than any of my friends. And it's guys like him that have ruined my community, brought us where we are. I mean it in a much more literal sense. I knew his face from somewhere, and I couldn't place it until I was reminded. This guy's a killer. He shot an innocent man, and he walks free. That's how it goes, you know. Judge doesn't sentence the cop. Come the next election, the police endorse the judge once more. Someone for that fucking brutal cycle. Some scum like that. It makes sense that he'd do what he did. Still, yet I'm surprised at how brutal he's been. Dragon? What do you mean? I mean this guy's the other traitor. Really? Come down to catch this prick standing above Horse's body. Pistol in hand. Looking right pissed, but he suddenly stops me. Tells me to wait a minute, to look at this. He hands me Horse's tablet. Generously, I give him the time of day. Thought that maybe Horse was the traitor, that it was some sort of self-defense. Turns out, no. Horse isn't the determined personality at all. Right as I recognize that, Bunny pulls the gun on me. But I'm faster. Knock it out of his hand. Then I give him a good old uppercut, send him flying to the ground face first. From there, I just beat the ever-loving shit out of him. Felt good. Felt right. And who would care about it? After all, the chaos and darkness of this race will tear away all this shit. The survivors will write the truth. For good measure, I grabbed that busted lamp and choked him out with a cord. Like that, we're saved. So, he was the other traitor? Of course. Can I see his tablet then? Ah, that. Accidentally got broken when I was beating the shit out of him. My bad. Accidentally? I froze. Uh-oh. I was with Bunny when Sheep was killed. When Tiger was killed. He couldn't be the culprit behind all of this. But could Dragon? Looking for somebody who could break Sheep's windpipe. Could beat Tiger in a fight. Could land a blow on a horse. Options would be limited. Dragon was one of the few who still fit that profile. Could it be? Well, Dragon was the one holding the gun right now. This wasn't really the time to bring up my theory. Okay, well, could you wait in the cafeteria for now? I'm still trying to gather everyone, so we can clear up everything. Sure, I'll do that. And very calmly, Dragon walked out of the room and made her way to the cafeteria. Well, not surprised in the slightest. A little unnerved, but not surprised. I mean, it's pretty clear that Bunny is a corrupt cop. But to hear that Bunny also shot someone innocent and got away with it, not shocked. Bastards and all. I saw her start talking with Monkey, who at this point must have been very out of the loop. Alright. No matter what I did next, I needed more people. I still wonder if this is Monkey's route somehow. And somehow, like, everyone's going to check on Monkey, and Monkey's kind of manipulating all of them with the therapy bollocks. Snake and Rooster have had long enough. With the nearest staircase and made the trek back up to the 3rd floor. These stairs felt so long. From running up and down them for so long. It wasn't long at all, was it? This had all been happening incredibly quickly, thinking about it. As I made my way up to the 3rd floor, I felt weary. Just expecting something bad to happen. That's why when I got to the classroom, I almost felt like laughing. I didn't, of course. And they're dead as well. Just so absurd. There stood Snake over Rooster's bloody corpse, his arms caked in blood. What the fuck, Snake? I sense that you're upset. What the fuck, Snake? Okay, hear me out. A very brief amount of time. Before I get to where we're going, let me just say a few things. In Rooster's story, he should have at least heard the footsteps of somebody running away. But thinking about it some more, the blood thing wouldn't matter much if he cut the throat from behind and was very careful about it. I searched through this classroom and found a bloody letter opener hastily stuffed behind some textbooks. The same letter opener currently lying next to Rooster's dead body? I'm getting there, relax. Relax? Okay, perhaps not the best advice, just let me finish. When I showed Rooster the letter opener, he immediately lunged at me and snatched it from me. I say all this to show how very reasonable it is to assume that Rooster possesses the desperate personality. I am sad to say that Rooster does not, in fact, possess the desperate personality. God damn it, Snake! Listen, when he grabbed the letter opener, I saw killing intent in his eyes. With pure instinct, I grabbed a nearby textbook and hit him in the side of the head. From the looks of things, from there you grabbed a nearby pen and stabbed him in the side of the throat? Yes. Snake. It was an honest mistake. It was murder! One could reasonably argue self-defense. One could if they're a dumbass. Now, there's no need to be rude. How does this keep happening? Why is this still happening? By the tone of voice, I presume more victims have shown up. Horse and Bunny. Dragon killed them. She did. Well, she killed Bunny. I don't know about Horse. I'm assuming she's the traitor. I have to doubt that. You do? She was partnered up with me, remember? Which means I very much doubt she had the opportunity to commit all those murders. I mean, the pig murder took place on the first floor in the 5th round. Yeah. Then yes, she simply could not have done it. But in that case, was it Bunny? But no, he should have had an alibi too. My mind started to spin. I needed to keep my feet on the ground, as hard as it was. You're gonna get arrested for this, you know that, right? Oh, Mouse, no need to be so dramatic. Surely we can work something out. This can all be erased by the chaos and the darkness. A truth can be written by us survivors. Something was going off in the back of my mind, but for now I needed to keep pressing forwards. That's the same thing Dragon said. The cafeteria is still the meeting space. All right, I'll head there now. Oh no, we'll head there now. Not gonna let people go off on their own anymore. A fair request. And so with Snake very much in my line of sight, I made my way down to the cafeteria. There was Dragon and Monkey, who was still tied up. Mouse, there you are. Monkey. Seeing a familiar face triggered all that exhaustion that I had been holding back to catch up with me at once. Mouse, I'm worried for you. Appears you're doing an awful lot on your own. This can't be healthy. Yeah, well, dying also isn't healthy, but I'm trying to stop it the best I can. Doing a real good job of that. Hey, fuck you! Whoa, okay. Breathe, Mouse. Remember what I told you. Breathe. Dragon not expecting to get snapped at by Mouse of all people. Respect, though. That's right, how could I forget? Deep breaths. Deep breath. Deep breaths. Right now, there's only 4 of us here, and one of us can't survive. A perilous situation, to be sure. There's one person besides us who's still alive, at least as far as we know. Dog. Figured a shady bastard like him would stick around. There's a lot we need to go over. Before we do that, I'd like to have him here. So here's what's going to happen. Snake, Dragon, you stay here with Monkey, and the 3 of you keep an eye on each other, and an eye out for distant threats. I'm gonna go find Dog. Alive or dead. Mouse, are you sure about that? Given everything that's happened. I'm finding Dog. One way or another. I respect it. Good luck, Mouse. Both their statements felt pretty hollow to me, but there wasn't much I could do about it. Was leaving those 3 to themselves and wandering off into the school alone a good idea? Probably not. What was I to do? Or dying left and right for no apparent reason. I was at a complete loss. Couldn't think of what the best thing to do was, so I was doing this. I started looking around on the first floor for where Dog might be. Perhaps to be expected, I couldn't find him. Why would I be able to? I mean, something was going right in this goddamn hellscape of a school. The long 6th round was starting to come to a close, so I found a nearby classroom and input my action. Everybody fucking died in 1 round. To being sure that Dog was nowhere to be found on this first floor, I decided to head back to the cafeteria to make sure nothing had happened. And everybody's dead. Something had happened. Monkey? What happened? Why? Why did this... Couldn't vocalize my oncoming breakdown. It was pretty obvious what I was referring to. After all, in front of a tied-up Monkey, Dragon and Snake lay motionless on the floor. The tablets had both fallen in between them. Blood flowed from their collars. This wasn't a murder. This was an execution. Ah! I wish I could tell you, Mouse. Hi. I truly do. I mean, this is pretty scarring for me as well. Well, not that that will matter for long. But you must know something. You were sitting right there! It was all pretty standard at first. The 2 were arguing over some inanities. I had my eyes closed. I was doing some meditation. The situation sort of necessitated it. And then all of a sudden I heard them cry out in pain. Their collars, they were... Monkey began to choke up. She struggled to look me in the eyes. I realized that I wasn't the only one being broken down by all of this. I have to assume that there was some sort of major trinket at work here. It's really the only explanation I could fathom. major trinket. Of course. Of course some major trinket would just kill Snake and Dragon. Damn it, I should have asked them both more questions when I had the chance. And now... Mouse, this isn't the advice I should be giving to you, but I think you need to go on the offensive. What do you mean? Well, if I understand everything right, then it must be Dog that used the major trinket that killed Dragon and Snake. He's the only one else alive, right? Right? And he must be the desperate personality. And indeed, this seems pretty desperate. I said we needed to pair up, and look what has happened. One person who's been alone this whole time has been able to take people out one by one. I guess it's not entirely true. Both Dragon and Snake were a bit confused and ended up killing 2 other people out of paranoia and confusion. A pig, sheep, tiger, horse, ox, dragon, snake. I believe there's 1 suspect left. 2 suspects left. Uh-oh. Mouse, you can't be serious, can you? I know you're scared, but please take a moment and calm yourself. Consider it. I'm on your side, Mouse. I've just been trying to help. I've been tied up this whole time. It's impossible for me to have done anything. I'm not talking about you, Monkey. I'm talking about Brian. Brian? This whole thing. It's all bullshit. Rooster brought us here, then with us trapped, he stuck inside the school and began to off us one by one. He's the murderer! Mouse, you're not thinking clearly. That's understandable. It's an unclear situation. But the Brian I knew would never do that. Would the Brian you knew host a death game like this? Yes. Yes, he would. Well... That's blunt. Was not expecting that. I'm still considering that there might be something to the theories that you're postulating in the comments about Brian not being the true Jade Emperor, and not being truly in charge of this, so to speak. Yet, again, there's no clear answer as to who would be in charge then, if not Brian. Which is the dilemma we still gotta solve. He was unwell, Mouse. I said as much. But in this whole design, I see him in this. It's incredible, really, how much it fits him. In a horrific way. Don't get me wrong. As dark and vengeful and motivated as he might have been, Brian always felt a sense of fairness. There's no way he'd break his own rules like that, Mouse. I don't think he has it in him to commit murder himself. Just to put the pieces in place and let them topple over on their own. Well, it's a small distinction in the eyes of the law between committing murder yourself and facilitating murder. If any distinction. It's still murder. So then it's Dog. Breathe. Breathe. Thinking about it rationally, Monkey made sense. He depended on an unexplained third party was irrational. There was no evidence to suggest something like that. Okay, so it's pretty clear at this point that we're being... Dog was the obvious culprit. So now, Mouse, you have to act. If he has some major trinket that can remotely execute people, you can't just wait here. Odds are, the trinket has some sort of prerequisites required to execute someone, so it's not all-powerful. Doesn't mean you can just wait him out. You need to strike first. I know, but... if he's coming after me, to kill someone. It's not going to be pretty, but it's necessary. After this is all over, you can forget about it all. The chaos and darkness of this race will erase what happens here. The truth will be written by the survivors. Oh, there it is. There it is. Or, survivor, I suppose. It'll be hard to live on alone. But you'll have to do it, Mouse. The idea that Dog was the traitor, that he killed all of us. I should go deal with him first, right? Hmm. Hmm. I have a feeling that we're locked out of the best possible ending in this round because we trusted Monkey early on. I had a very distinct feeling. She is thoroughly manipulating everyone. Who baby? This is gonna be interesting.